podcast, and I'm back.
And a yawn.
I'll bet Hudson was more professional than that.
Well, he put in his A game, but he only had to come in for one day, so that's why.
You can do anything for one day. I'll just tell you right now.
It's when you've done it for a long time, how do you do it then?
How do you keep going?
Hopefully you guys did enjoy our last podcast when Hudson was filling in for Obi. Obi's back, though, today.
Yeah, so I'm back, and I think I've saved way too much out of the show today.
Well, you're excited.
Mondays are like that, though,
It
right?
is true. We have a lot to say.
So here's the stuff you can hear about. We talk about the death of Chadwick Boseman, the guy from Black Panther. Just amazing. Such a shock, and that's in the podcast today. We talk about the new Mutants, Canadian Bears reaching out to touch.
I think of it still as a high five.
Just a high five.
Just a quick high five on your leg.
Encouragement.
When someone has very long nails.
He couldn't reach, all the way up. We talk Bill and Ted Face the Music and Mulan. Something that I think we should do is decorate for fall. Just
gives you some ideas on something we could do for the room, for our space.
Things we could do. Stimulus checks, Costco samples, stuffed animals, flavored water for dogs. How's that?
We started with flavored water, and then we moved on to finding out it's flavored water for dogs.
Well,
That would have been a terrible mistake to make.
And then University...
Oh, another yawn?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. University of Alabama, student numbers with the COVIDs.
Okay. Anything else?
And Enola Holmes. That is a weird lawsuit, man. And there you go.
We didn't say it on air, but for the lawyer for the Sherlock Holmes family, that lawyer that must be what their job is all the time.
They're probably is.
Here's another thing, go sue.
The Conan Doyle estate. You know what? And he's probably just like, I'm milking it, but whatever. They're
Why
paying.
not?
They're paying.
Doesn't matter to him.
Let's sue about this. Why not?
They already had the paperwork already ready. They just copy it and just change the details on the case.
Absolutely
that.
But
we have details on that concerning the new movie that's coming out. And it is September 23rd that it comes out on Netflix.
That would be the Wednesday following my birthday, which is Monday, September 21st, which is 3 weeks from today.
We're almost there.
Weird. I mean, if you told me that it was still like we were just getting ready to head into April, I think I could believe you. You guys enjoy the podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
They even make morning people want to reach for the snooze button. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
So Chadwick Boseman, star of Black Panther, he was King T'Challa, like Black Panther, died, was it Friday night or into Saturday morning?
I think people started to find out Saturday night into Sunday morning. That's when I think it started going out.
That's when I found out. Saturday night, I was doing some stuff on my computer. I was like, well, I'll check Twitter just real quick. And it was like, wait. I assumed he was trending, so I was like, well, he has obviously come out and said something about the election or like whatever. And then seeing that he died, I didn't believe it.
Oh, you thought it was a hoax too? Yeah. A lot of people did.
Totally didn't believe it. Immediately Googled it, and it was like, wait, what? So he had colon cancer. He's had it for 4 years. Basically just didn't tell anybody. Just kept working, kept doing life. And I mean, there had been an interview he did a month or two ago in which people had kind of commented about how thin he was. Some people were saying that he was just prepping for a role. But no, he had colon cancer and he died. So the tweet that went out about it is
from his account.
From his account is the most liked tweet ever.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then also in tribute, last night, ABC aired Black Panther commercial free.
Did they?
They did. I also saw that that film, Black Panther, is setting records on Apple and Amazon because people were streaming it like crazy over the weekend.
They did a special trending thing with a hashtag too, where they brought back his emoji or something that they had back when the movie came out. So a lot of people have been doing tribute stuff.
Yeah. So the only thing I thought when I was watching it is most of the tributes that I saw were definitely framed in a Black Panther kind of way. Do you think, like, as a family member, do you think you'd be like proud of that, or would you be like, hey, he's a person? He's not just the character.
Well, I think that is in tribute because he portrayed the character so well that I don't think they would be upset.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was very cool. Like so many different things. And he was, I mean, the only way that I know him or am familiar with him really is with the roles that he played. And he was awesome. Mm-hmm. So really sorry to hear about that. And man, just amazing to think that you just don't know what's going on with people. I mean, this guy, high profile, like doing his thing. You had no idea what he's going through.
Well, they brought up the fact that he had started to lose so much weight and people were so mean about it. They, like you mentioned, they were assuming it was for a role or just what was going on with him. And I think that was even back starting like in February. And coming out of this weekend, people were saying, hey, you should really stop and watch what you say beforehand because people did not think it was for that reason.
Yeah, I wasn't really going to mention it, but people were accusing him of being on drugs and like all kinds of stuff.
It was
and
pretty mean back then.
They were really hard on him about some stuff. So it's true. Like that, I think that's a pretty good takeaway. Like you don't know what's going on with people, so try to be nice.
What you're about to hear will live on the internet forever. Sorry, internet. The worst of the Riot podcast.
So we can talk about protests here in the United States, but you know what, Nikki? Let's just go ahead and take a look and see what our British cousins are doing.
Are they also?
They had a pretty big protest over the weekend. I mean, I guess it depends on what.
I saw the one in Germany, but I didn't hear about any others.
Ooh, I didn't hear the German one.
Yeah, I think that was sometime recent.
Yeah. Okay, well, this one right here I see is they filled Trafalgar Square in the UK. They're in London. Tens of thousands, they say, of people showed up, which means probably 10,001.
Yeah.
Because that's
they tend to.
That's the way that works.
They tend to usually say it that way.
But they were all, this says, a crowd of, and I quote, anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers.
Yes.
So they didn't want to wear the mask. They don't want the vax.
So that's the same one, I think, from Germany, too. It's not the same, like, protesting location, but it was the same thing that they were trying to spread the awareness of.
Okay. And so the awareness was apparently that COVID-19 is a hoax. So I just can't believe how many people actually showed up.
Well, you know how sometimes you don't know what you're just like, oh, let's go for a walk today. And then suddenly you're in a protest. You just didn't know.
Hey, there's cities right here in this great nation where I wouldn't take a walk.
That's true. You're not doing that right now.
I just would not do that. But yeah, I am a lot of times. Okay. I'll see things. And again, I realize, these are sensitive times, but I'll see things where it's like, oh yeah, there was a huge protest and like there are 5 people. Mm-hmm. There are so
many
people that are at this protest. It is really something. So it's interesting. They say, let me read you some of the signs. COVID cure, a strict 90-day TV-free diet. Mm-hmm. Do not comply. Unite for freedom. Say no to 5G.
That's making an appearance, sir?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a few other things in there. So they are, it seems like everybody was, they say, oh, here we go. Stand up to plandemic, scandemic, save our elderly, save our children, no to genocide, no to muzzle masks. All right. So
it's very hard when you do get so many different opinions from so many places and to see like crowds of 10,000 and more. And you're like, well, wait a minute. What's going on over there? Because Europe just has a different feel concerning this pandemic. And we have a different feel at certain times. And it's just hard to know what to go with.
I don't know. In some places, the numbers are going down. In some other places, we're looking at you, University of Alabama. The numbers
they didn't want to be brought up on this.
The numbers are going up.
They would wish that you not say anything.
In the meantime, I'm just wearing a mask and drinking coffee, but not at the same time.
That's his plan.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
You remember that you can text us and say, hey, we're here. It's what we do when we're not at the theater watching New Mutants.
Oh, yeah, that came out over the weekend.
It did.
How did the response go?
Well, I don't have the total from the entire weekend. It looks like maybe it made around 8 million. But you know how they are always like, well, we're not done counting just yet. But I can tell you for sure that it made about $3 million on Friday.
So is this a lot, or were they excited for it? Because the problem is it's their first big release to go into theaters, but a lot of theaters were opening for the first time. So I don't think you were seeing the same crowds you normally were. They were having less people in each theater. But then also this movie's like 3 years old, and I don't think people really were very excited to see it.
I really am interested in it, but more in like a clinical sense.
Sure.
Not like, it's going to be so good. I'm like, man, 3 years. It's been reshot, recut, whatever. What's this thing even look like?
Shuffled around for a very long time. So it's not the best movie for them to come out with an opening and us be like, well, this means movies are back. Like it's not.
See, I feel like for them, they were like, listen, our only hope is that people are so desperate to see anything, they'll come out and see the New Mutants. And so they did, I guess. They made like 8 or 9 million. Some estimates have it as high as 11.
I see 7 million to date.
Okay.
So it's fluctuated.
We're seeing a lot of different numbers.
It's
a lot of different numbers.
That's no problem.
So how about this? More than 1, but less than 12.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, that feels good. They say that approximately 62% of movie theaters are open.
Oh, okay.
But keep in mind that even though they're open, they're at reduced capacity because they've got seating spread out. So a theater that used to have 500 and they would force you to sit down front and crane your neck, I think I see it. Now that theater seats like 150.
So it has smaller amounts.
Yeah.
So this Friday would be Mulan. That comes out.
Is it actually going to theaters?
I don't know what it's
Nobody
doing.
knows, yeah.
I think it is. I think it is going to be in some, but then for everywhere else, it's Disney Plus.
Right. And then the other big one this weekend, Tennant.
It's finally coming out.
And I watched Saturday night or whatever. I watched the full final trailer for Tennant. It looks so weird and cool and interesting. It just does.
So that one comes out on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. So I'm not gonna get to it this weekend. It's gonna have to wait until next week because I'm DJing a wedding this weekend, and that pretty much kills it for me. So, but I hope it's good, and I hope I can make it, and I hope I can go.
I hear a lot of hoping there.
Hey, you know what? I did. It would be fine with me. I mean, I love going to the movies, but if they would do the on-demand weekend thing, I would do that because I did that this weekend. I watched Bill and Ted.
Oh, we'll have to talk about that later.
I did it.
But Tennant's not doing that, so
no.
They don't want to. They don't want you to ask about it anymore.
Shut up about it.
And they're really done with that. So they're putting it in theaters, and that's all you get.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
Oh my gosh, Nikki. Like, we've said this before, but the reality of it is, guys, Nikki just needs to move.
I do. I don't feel like I'm in the right spot.
And, Nikki, you know where you need to go? You need to go to the Great White North.
To Canada.
That's right.
I do like Canada.
Because when you go to Canada, you could just be out for a walk. You like to take extensive weekend walks. Nikki goes walkabout. Here's a photo of a black bear that just came out and reached out and touched a runner.
Oh, gosh. Actually, that seems just taps it, right? It's like if you're doing a relay race and you're like, oh, I'm done here, tap out.
That's actually exactly what it does. It walks out of the woods, touches her leg, and then just like leaves her alone.
Do you think it's real? Kind of looks like it could be photoshopped, but
I think it's real.
Think it's real? What'd she say? She was just running and it... Oh, yeah, there's video. You can watch it.
Okay, I love this. If you see the video, we're doing the opposite of what we're supposed to do. We're coming closer to the bear. He says, I was trying to distract the bear by yelling because we're not running away.
Oh.
But there was a girl there. We waited until we knew that she was safe.
Yeah, she's safe. She's safe, which is why I'm chuckling. Because at first the bear's just like, oh, yeah, just taps out, just reaches out. And then she was thankfully able to run away.
Yeah. She was just out for a
jog, and there
Saturday
it is.
Run.
And I don't have that in my area.
You don't. Like when you go out for a walk, you might, and I'm going to give this a big M maybe, you could see a wild turkey.
Really?
I've done that.
You've heard it before?
I've seen it.
You hear them first.
I've been out running and been scared out of my mind because, I got my headphones on, I'm listening, and all of a sudden there's a wild turkey next to me. It's scarier than you think.
Not with this.
No. This bear just comes out. It's like, hi, how you doing?
Kind of like the one from a few weeks ago where they were walking on a path and the bear was standing up and just kind of like, not exactly hugging them, but way too close. And you're not sure what to do because certain bears are supposed to be doing certain things.
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, we see here, this is a bear that was just, you know, as many of us are during this time of shut down and stay at home. He just wanted contact. He just wanted somebody to touch him to remind him he was alive.
Just wanted a high five.
Yeah. He's just like, hey, I'm a person too.
Now, watching the video, I feel like it was more like he was a coach bear. And he was just trying to motivate her to run and just
get out there.
Yeah, reach out there. You know, you're like, come on, get going. And maybe she'd had a long run and had stopped for a moment. It was really just trying to motivate her to finish her race.
I was also thinking he could have been the relay bear. Like you tap his paw and then he starts running.
That was his time. But they just, got it mixed up. So,
yeah. You know what? I'll just tell you, with all sports, you got to practice.
That's right. Everybody's different.
You got to practice, even when you're a bear.
I would have been like, oh, yeah, you're putting your hand out? Come on over.
He's like,
we're getting a picture and we're getting a hug.
He's extending his paw in friendship. I must do the same.
That means he wants to come home. He wants to be a friend, and I'm all for that.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Good news from Georgia. Did you read this about the U.S. Marshals Service, Operation Not Forgotten?
Yes, with the saving of
39 kids.
Yeah.
Did you guys talk about this Friday?
We did not.
Okay,
but
right.
I just keep seeing over the weekend how literally everybody's posting, like, why are we not hearing more about this?
Well, here you go. Here's some more about Operation Not Forgotten. U.S. Marshals Service worked with the Southeast Regional Fugitive Task Force, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, as well as state and local agencies. Why can't I talk? Okay, so they found 26 children they rescued and safe location of 13 others.
Gotcha.
I don't know the distinction between the two, but they're saying a total of 39 that were missing. They ended up arresting 9 people. They cleared 26 warrants, and they filed charges for alleged crimes of sex trafficking, parental kidnapping, registered sex offender violations, drugs, weapon possession, custodial interference, and the list keeps going.
It seemed like it was an amazing way of helping to save all these kids.
The thing that amazes me is that, 39 people under the age of 18, and like that's just, you're talking tip of the iceberg kind of thing here. So awesome that they did it, but it just goes to show you that there are, like, this is happening in communities. It's probably happening in your community. You have no idea about it.
Well, Jerome, he texted, don't forget about the kids. They found a bunch in Southern Ohio as well. So this stuff happens so much, and they're right in saying it does not get the attention that it really, truly deserves.
I have not seen the news story about Southern Ohio, so that'll be something that I'll take a look at. But you know what? I feel like in a world where there's a lot of things that aren't looking great, this is pretty dang awesome. So United States Marshal Service, way to go on that.
Good job, guys.
Absolutely.
That was fantastic.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So it looks like iOS 14 for your for your iPhone and iPad. So are we on iOS 14?
No,
or
not
on like
yet.
13 point something?
We're still on 13.
I'm so tired of 13.
Well, you can have 14 if you want to just put it on.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm reading here that it looks like Apple is bringing back its music quiz game.
It is?
Do you remember that on your iPod?
I don't think I do.
Show? Yeah, I do.
Did you used to play it?
Yeah, because it's like Name That Tune, where it would play like a little bit, and then you had to say what song it was.
I don't even remember this.
Sometimes you get bored.
Well, and yeah, you even back in the day, you still needed something. So they're going to bring that with a new one?
They say that it's going to reappear in iOS 14. The only hook is that it doesn't work with Spotify. It will work with Apple Music. Mm-hmm. It will work with iTunes purchases and locally synced songs from other sources, But those are the 3 places that it will pull music from. They say, and I quote, this I love this from Engadget, this is a chance to relive the iPod's glory days.
Just by playing this game?
That might be, a little editorial freedom.
Sure, but it's only what you have on your... It's not like it's just random songs.
No.
Okay, it's only what you have on your phone.
So it's pulling from your music. Though in the case of Apple Music, I don't know if it will be Apple Music only on your phone or how that will work.
Yeah, what you have saved maybe.
But it's there. And that just begs the next question. Do you have any music synced to your phone locally?
Oh, no. I haven't had that for a long, long time.
Yeah, me either.
Well, I mean, I have certain songs downloaded if I don't want to use my, streaming for data.
Well, then that would count.
But I don't have, anything synced the old school way.
Right. So, well, that's those ones that you've downloaded. I guess it would pull from that. I don't know if it'll pull on your data plan or not. I know.
I don't have a lot in there. I usually just stream a lot, but if it wants to quiz me on the 10 songs, that's perfectly fine.
Well, I finally took the plunge and went unlimited, and so now I just stream. I'm just always streaming.
As much as you want.
Just whatever.
So if you used to play this old game on an iPod, that will be out. They're saying they're bringing it back for the new iOS update when that comes.
Whenever that is. Mm-hmm. Like so many other things. Maybe someday if you're good, we don't know.
I saw someone who had the beta and they were using it. They were showing the screen. It looked pretty good.
Okay.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Over the weekend, I paid a premium. I watched Bill and Ted Face the Music.
So is that one, was that a rental or did you just buy it? Do you have it for...
I don't remember.
How much was it?
25?
25?
25?
I feel like that should be buying it, but not sure.
It probably was, come to think of it. And it's like, Obadiah, you should know. I may have been in just a
mood to spin.
Just a whatever.
And not to worry about it.
So sat down and watched it, and you know what? It is surprisingly good for what it is.
And there's some qualifiers there.
Well, you got to think in terms of when they make their last movie, 25 years ago, 28 years ago, something like that. And so a lot of times when you end up with a movie, here we are 20-something years later, and they're like, hey, let's make a sequel. It usually ends up sucking.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel...
Because we can't let things go.
Right. But here's what was interesting about this. The thing that they nail above and beyond anything else is not just the character voice, but the narrative voice. It feels like the other 2 Bill and Ted movies. And I was like, how are they doing this? And I feel like there are 2 things that they get. It's the original writers and producers of the other 2 films.
Yeah.
And those guys came up with the characters Bill and Ted. They did stand-up, and they took an improv class, and that's where they came up with those characters. So they are
the characters. Which is why they could bring it back.
So they were able to write it in such a way. And the other thing is the 2 guys, Keanu Reeves and...
The other guy?
The other guy.
They hate to be that way, don't you?
The other guy. Alex Winter, is that his name or something like that?
That sounds good.
I don't know, whatever. That guy, they weirdly nail it. It is weird.
Well, they're probably very comfortable.
Just how much they embody and bring those characters back. It was just one of those things where you're like, wait, whoa.
Well, if you think about the fact that it's the same writers, same tone, same everybody, they probably just fell right back into it.
They really did. And that, to me, kind of made it worth it. The one thing I will say is I just can't imagine having no context and watching that. I don't think if you haven't watched those other movies and didn't like, on some level, you have to like them.
Yeah.
Then you could like this.
I don't think they're paying for it if they weren't.
Well, right. But eventually it trickles down.
It's not like you just were with friends at the movie theater and you're like, oh, let's just go pop in and see this.
Yeah, there's some intentionality here.
Yeah, I think more so than if it wasn't an on-demand.
But if you have some history there and like it, it was weirdly good. And the other thing I wasn't prepared for, I actually thought it was funny. There were multiple moments in it that I thought was funny. And there is a new character they introduced that's a robot. He has no business being funny. It's funny. I laughed a lot at this robot who begins to develop kind of an identity crisis, and he keeps introducing himself to people by his full name.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I
just
thought
worked with you.
That awkward robot was so funny, but
Well,
I laughed.
You like robot stuff.
I laughed so hard at that robot trying to introduce himself to people. I don't know why.
Well, Mitch texted and said his friend was at the end of the movie, so he was on part of that.
Oh, yeah? Well, they do have a big crowd scene, so
That's
maybe
one of them, yeah.
Maybe he was in that mix. So, was it worth $25? No.
And they know that, but they were just hoping that would you spend that much money on it?
You got to get friends together, 25 friends, and everybody gives $1.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to, so, you know.
Right.
And who has 25 good friends you want to invite over right now?
10 friends at $2.50 a piece?
Yeah, maybe. Split the cost of food.
Yeah. So
everybody brings a chip.
So they chip in.
Yeah, you bring a chip or a beverage, and then that's fine.
Yeah, it's great.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I want to say hi to Josh and Mitch and Keith, and then Gannon, who says there are better things to spend your money on.
Of course there are.
And
Obi watched Bill and Ted, the third one on demand. Are you saying Mulan on Friday?
That's exactly what he's saying.
Is that what you're saying is better money well spent?
Are you going to do it?
Am I going to spend the $30 on it?
On Mulan?
Yeah, probably so.
Boom, I knew it.
Why not? I haven't had a movie that I've watched in a very long time.
I know, but it just makes me feel better
Like a new
about my
one.
poor choices when you make poor choices.
Oh, and mine's more expensive, so it's fine.
See, I say $5.
Yeah, yours was the reasonable choice.
Yeah. So will Mulan come to theaters? Would you risk it?
Let me look at our locals theaters app, and then that can tell you.
Would you rather, given the option, would you rather
I'll just stay home and watch it.
Much rather see it at
Yeah,
home.
I'd rather not, get ready, go out.
Well, and the good thing about that is, Nikki, is that you can, just keep watching it.
Yes. Yes, I can.
Seriously, you go see it in the theater, you only get one shot at it.
You're right.
Now
You're absolutely right.
Mulan yourself to death.
You can. All right. So if I go to Friday, it just promotes Tennant. So I don't know.
That feels right.
Now, Josh said Mulan's going to be free with your Disney Plus subscription in December.
At some point.
Yeah, you have to wait for that. But if you buy it with the $30, you'll have it. It's not like a 3-day or however long rental, which can be sometimes the case with the on-demand stuff. You'll have it on Disney Plus until it comes out for free to everybody.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, but otherwise, if it's going to be in December for it to be free, that is a pretty good wait. So I'd rather just watch it.
I mean, we've already waited 7 months.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
What's a couple more?
We are patient people, aren't we?
Well, you have to be, Nikki.
You do.
You have to be.
You do. Thank you for texting, Josh.
And, Nikki, thank you for picking up Mulan. That makes me feel good. Mm-hmm. That way, I don't feel so bad.
I think we all have to start sharing our logins, guys. We're just going to have to start borrowing that. I'll watch Bill and Ted. You can watch Mulan. It's fine.
What's your Venmo account?
Everybody just sends a few dollars.
Or if we all buy one and then we all share.
Yeah, that's good. See, and then you're like, well, you're not supposed to do it, but we're sharing. I thought we were supposed to share.
It's not. Actually, you know what? What is it? Movies Anywhere?
Yeah.
Have you played around with their screen? I think they call it a screen pass or a movie pass option.
I thought they took that away and then they brought it back. Or
they did. I had a friend of mine who, a little dated, but he wanted to see the Back to the Future movies that were all removed from Netflix. And so I, over the course of 4 days, sent him 3 separate passes so that he could watch my copies of Back to the Future on Movies Anywhere.
Well, you can't do that with Mulan.
No.
Because Mulan will just be on Disney Plus. Even if you spend the $30, you can't watch it anywhere else.
It's a cool option, though. One day, maybe.
That's only for movies that you don't want to watch.
I know. The movie has to be on Movies Anywhere and be eligible for that option, a.k.a. 40 years old.
It's a very small list of old movies.
Well, whatever. That's what I buy, though. I'm buying them all.
You're basically listening to a real-time cringe compilation. This is The Riot on Radio U.
You know what's weird? Do you know that tomorrow is September?
Yes. Where did August go? What happened?
I don't know.
It's like, will September go by that fast or will it be slower?
I don't know. I'm on record as not liking August.
But you've never liked August.
No,
so
I know.
It's not like a August 2020 thing.
Yeah. And hey, I just want to throw out something I kept thinking about over the weekend is that I know that we keep talking about how terrible 2020 is. Do you guys remember when we did that for 2019? Everybody was like, man, forget this year, 2019 in the rear view, all this kind of stuff.
Sure.
I heard all of that, and we're just right back at it. So why do we think 2021 is going to be any different?
No, everybody said it's all going to clear out by Christmas because it can't affect Christmas.
A cold north wind will blow.
It'll be fine.
And it will clear everything out.
It'll be perfectly fine. If we see all this with twinkle lights, it'll be okay.
Everything. Oh, remember that too, when the pandemic started and people are like, we put up our Christmas lights so we could feel more cheerful.
Feel something.
Because it's only going to last 2 weeks. So 2 weeks of Christmas lights sounds like fun.
Someone out there has just kept them up the whole time. Like, I'm just going to have them on until December.
If it's been helping you, I'm not here to tell you to take them down.
But it is weird. August went by super fast.
I feel like I should be gearing up for fall-like activities, and I haven't been able to get my brain to shift gears. My brain doesn't know what day it is or what time it is or what season it is, but I'd really like to begin...
You're seasonless.
I'd really like to begin pushing it into a fall mentality.
We can do that. You want to get some fall decorations for the studio?
Like some fake leaves?
Yeah, we never, like some pumpkin garland or something. We never get to go do that.
Maybe some orange lights?
Yeah.
Wait, we have these lights?
People always get like towels. We can get some, pumpkin towels.
I think it sounds great.
Yeah, and then we could just
towels.
put them everywhere.
The bathroom.
They always get
we
that.
never have towels, but now there are these pumpkin hand towels sitting out.
If not, we'll just leave them in the studio and we'll just hang them around in here.
And just tell people they can't use them because
it's decoration only.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, and you know what? We'll get some fancy little pumpkin soaps, which you're also not allowed to use. They're decorative only.
And we could get some pumpkin pillows and put them on the chairs.
A throw pillow?
Yeah, a throw pillow. We don't have a sofa in here. We just have chairs.
Yeah, but you know what? You just put them on the chair. It looks nice.
I think it'll look good. I think it'll really fall up the room, won't it?
Oh, yeah. You know what? This is great. What if we had like a pumpkin coloring contest and then we put up
the pumpkins on the
pumpkin
glass?
Pictures on the glass.
We could do that, and then we could wear some hoodies when we come in and have some apples because we just freshly apple picked.
I love it. I saw in my history that in the last 2 years, I've already been apple picking by now in the year.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, as soon as they made it available, I went and got fresh apples.
Out there.
Yeah, I should do that again.
Okay, but those are the plans when we have a chance to go fall decoration shopping. Well, we're not actually going to do that. We've never done that.
We haven't done an after show in a while.
It's true. We could go. I don't want people to see that because I'd actually probably get real into it. I don't let myself have different decor for different seasons except for Christmas.
Well, maybe it's time we changed all that.
I could get some more stuff.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
The other thing I find myself thinking about as we head towards September 1st tomorrow is, man, where was that free money check I was supposed to get?
Oh, remember I don't know.
When they were like, hey, like into
the
August.
The second stimulus thing?
Like, we're doing the stimulus thing again. There's going to be money. Money.
I have not heard any more about that, so I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. It was all the talk like 2 weeks ago, and then they go off and have their stupid little conventions, and all of a sudden, we're not too worried about that anymore. Like,
they were actually hoping you didn't notice, and you wouldn't bring it up again.
Yeah, because the conventions were so entertaining. I felt like I didn't need money anymore. I was just content with party spirit. Oh, it was wonderful. Like, we all just gathered together and sang whatever songs you sing at those conventions.
So I don't know.
70s rock bands, some of which are proud and some of which are mad and suing Trump, depending on which party you are.
But either way, it's not something you're familiar with.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm looking here at where we are as far as stimulus checks go, Nikki, and here's what I have. The White House and Nancy Pelosi apparently are fighting it out. Nancy Pelosi says that the Democrats will not budge on a $2.2 trillion stimulus package. The White House
now,
apparently...
that's not all the money that we get.
No.
It's because it goes to a lot of other things. And that's what they're fighting about. They're not fighting probably about what we people would receive, but it's the other stuff.
Right. So they are, they're duking it out. The White House says $1 trillion. Pelosi says $2.2 trillion. And of course, Congress is on recess right now. So
yeah, Tom said it's the summer break. So
yeah. So
and he wants a summer vacation.
As soon as they get done on the playground, they'll come back.
They'll come back in, and we'll see.
And we might see what happens. But if you were like they made a big fuss about it.
Well,
then
that's because they were trying to push a lot of stuff through
right before they had to leave for recess. And hey, I've been there. Right. Teacher says that if you get everything done in 5, like before recess starts, you could actually go early.
You can leave early.
Like, yeah. All right, if you can turn this in before it's over, you can go.
And if not, then you'll just deal with it and you can come back. And that's what they're currently doing.
Yeah. So if you're waiting for that check, wait longer.
I think that's what Microsoft and PlayStation are waiting to find out. Like if that comes out close enough to when the consoles come out.
Then they'll be ready to announce a price?
Yeah. Or at least all the official pre-orders.
Think about that. We're like 2 months away from brand new video game consoles, and they're like, oh, the price is so good, we can't tell you now.
Well, now on Friday, someone was saying that PlayStation said it's November 20th, and, they have said stuff.
No, they still haven't.
But not like officially. So it depends on what you want to go by.
Are you guys engaged? Like, not officially, but like we're talking.
The Riot with Obadiah and Nikki on RadioU.
Now I have to ask you a question. And Nikki, I'm going to start with you, but I'd like to hear from everybody else. I'm looking at an article here by a lady named Eileen who says that she is grown up. Mm-hmm. She's married.
Yeah.
And she sleeps with a teddy bear.
Oh, she does?
She said she still
sleeps with a teddy bear.
As a teddy bear.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Nikki?
I don't currently sleep with a teddy bear.
You don't?
I sleep with 3 dogs. I have 3 dogs. 2 normally sleep in bed. So I have basically little live ones.
Okay.
And they cuddle and snuggle, so it's fine.
That seems reasonable.
I don't have room to add a teddy bear in.
Now, did you at any point in your life have a teddy bear?
Oh, when I was younger, I always slept with a ton of stuffed animals.
Okay.
Oh, they were my little friends. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
But, I think the classic age, probably middle school, I stopped. Maybe into high school.
I don't know at what point I stopped sleeping with a stuffed animal. I certainly remember it, meaning that I remember having one.
Yeah, you had one?
Yeah, I don't know.
And I collected a lot of them, so they might not have been in bed, but they were still in the room.
Okay, yeah. I would say 3rd grade, 4th grade. I probably hung on to one for a while. There's probably some psychological problem.
Still needed to have our little
something
friend.
like that. But she says, hey, I sleep with my stuffed animal, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Good, that's fine.
She loves her stuffed animal. I'd like to hear if anybody else is in the same boat. Please text us if you still sleep with your stuffed animal.
With a stuffed animal?
I want to know what kind it is and what its name is.
And it's fine if you do. It's fine.
When I read the article, I was like, you know what? I'll bet you there's way more people out there.
Oh, yeah. It's comforting.
That are sleeping with their stuffed animal than are willing to cop to it.
It's kind of like when I first moved out, I would sleep with the TV on, just to have noise so you didn't feel like you were so by yourself.
Yeah.
So, a little teddy bear in the bed is fine.
Yeah. I'm not here to make fun of it. It just made me curious.
I just want to make sure people realize we're not.
Well, the other thing, okay, it's one of those things where, let's face it, you think you know somebody, but everybody that you interact with, whether it's at school or at work or whatever, they have this whole other life, this whole other thing that they do and the people they are that you really don't know anything about. And so, like stuffed animal, what do you put on your burger? Whatever. Like, they're just things you don't know. So does anybody still sleep with their stuffed animal?
Now, Janet says yes, sleeps with the Share Bear. It's like, I don't know if that's a type of it, but lives alone in slim defense to that.
What's a Share Bear?
I don't know. Does she mean like a Care Bear?
I know what a Care Bear is.
Or a Share Bear, or is it just a type of bear? But
This says Share Bear is a Care Bear.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Care Bear. Oh, yeah.
Nicole
Share
says,
Bear.
mine are technically pillows, but she has 5 owl stuffies.
Okay. All right. So it's real. It's happening. It's out there. I thought so.
And it's fine. Perfectly fine.
Did I say anything?
No, I'm just adding that on there.
Okay. It's fine.
This is the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So, you know what else is good? Wandering around Costco and getting free food.
I noticed I went Saturday that they had samples, but
Really?
this story is right. They don't have samples like you used to. I don't know if you go to Sam's Club and it's the same way, but you could make Costco work for like your entire lunch or dinner. If they were having samples,
Just
you would
sample it up, baby.
Yeah, you would just go around. There was no limit. But now samples are returning, but it's one of two ways. It's either a sample and you get to try the whole thing. So, like, they had granola bars they were sampling, and you just got a granola bar.
Fantastic.
So it wasn't open and, like, cut up into little sections because they're not allowed to have the open food part of it.
Yeah.
But you could just take the unopened sample. So that was one.
Okay.
The second way is they're just showing you what it looks like when it's put together, but it's not something you can actually eat.
So
like,
what? It's like a 3D model
yeah,
of the
basically.
food?
So
That's
like,
not a sample.
This example shows like pasta with spaghetti sauce, and there would just be a plate of that in a case that you don't get to eat, but you could see the items put together.
Then don't say the
Not
samples are
samples.
back.
That's
not
at
a
that point,
sample.
it's not samples. But in the other way, if it's an unopened item, you can try it.
That is not a sample. That is just
That's a lie.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lie.
It's a tease.
It is, but they want to show you the newer items that they have.
Like, hey, you know what? This is what spaghetti looks like. Oh, thank you. I didn't know.
But it's that spaghetti.
What would I have done if you hadn't cooked the spaghetti and set it out for me to look at?
So you don't get a sample of those. But again, like say they had candy bars. Instead of it being this one candy bar cut up into 4 pieces that you can have, you just get the whole thing.
Did they have candy bars?
No, I only saw the granola bars, which is fine. I mean, in a pinch, it'll do. It's free.
Okay, you know what? You're right.
You can go back and get more than one. They're not supposed to say anything.
I mean, they might give you
a look. But if you could push past that, you can get more than one granola bar.
Who the heck do they think they are?
To tell you. I mean, you got a lot of catching up to have here.
To judge you, all right? You're a member of an exclusive club. Mm-hmm. You paid for access to that place.
So you can have more than one if you want.
Get your second granola bar and you can eat it while you look at the spaghetti under glass.
You're not supposed to go back, but you're just supposed to say, oh, it's for my sister or my brother, even though you don't have one. And then you're just supposed to take a couple, even though you're a grown adult.
Can I get one for my sister and my brother?
And then you're lying like, hey, Becky, I'm getting you. She's on the other aisle. I got you one. While you're just eating both of them.
She's over there getting the massage sample.
Yeah, do you see that? That's her right there. See, she'll wave.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's kind of what the samples look like at Costco if you see them again.
Well, it's not incentive enough.
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported Radio U.
You shouldn't be ashamed to wear your Crocs.
It's fine. You know what? Whatever's fine.
Whatever.
It's perfectly fine.
Nikki has Crocs.
Why don't you just put your Crocs, put a stuffed animal around your Crocs and just walk around with that and just do both.
What if you get your stuffed animal some little Crocs of their own?
Oh, now that's cute.
And the two of you could be
But no, she's in bed.
Well, yeah, I mean, not bed. I mean, I don't know. Like, your stuffed animal could probably, as long as it doesn't walk outside.
Then that's fine.
Because, I mean, you're letting your dogs in bed and they walk inside.
That's true.
Do you clean their feet off before they get in the bed?
No, not normally.
Ew.
Filthy, right? Filthy.
Your bed is a petri dish.
Don't care.
Funk.
I hope it just evens out to where you don't get anything because, you've already been exposed. I'm exposed to everything.
You've been exposed to COVID-20 Forget about 19. That's
From all
so
the
last
pets.
year.
Yeah,
So
it'll
last
keep
year.
it'll keep you fine.
So, Nikki, we're talking here about Cal Meisner. He heard a big rainstorm coming through. So he's in Canada. Mm-hmm. He runs outside and he rolls up his window. Like he grabs his, he leans in to get his keys, and then lightning strikes his truck.
Yeah.
It blows him across the driveway, and he wakes up, and it has
it knocked him out?
Something.
He was stunned.
It blew the Crocs off his feet.
That sounds like you're swearing at someone. Or just how you say it. I don't know. But is he okay?
He is.
So is that like tires on a car?
Well, he says that it was. He's like, man, these Crocs saved my life. Now, officials are saying that it's not the Crocs. It was actually the fact that he was
still touching the car.
Right. He said, in reality, the car absorbed the vast majority of the electricity and dispersed it.
Yeah, because the rubber is supposed to, the cars and stuff. But all right, well, he still thinks it was his blessed Crocs.
He's out there like, you all need Crocs.
Everybody sent us this story on Facebook because, I own a pair of Crocs now, but
which means that you're now safe from lightning.
I should be wearing these during every storm. I'm supposed to turn off everything and unplug it and put my Crocs on.
You should go out there and be an electrician now because you're completely taken care of. Like, you could grab anything, do anything, as long as you got those Crocs on.
And he's saying that, but he doesn't mean it. You're not supposed to do that.
He doesn't know.
Wow.
Like other people do. All he knows is that he was wearing Crocs and he's okay.
And it saved him.
Yeah.
He should get a free pair.
It looks like if this photo is of the Crocs that blew off his feet, it looks like they're okay.
Is they're still fine?
I'd keep wearing them.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Let's say hi to Zach and somebody I don't know, and Katie and Lucy. Nikki, Katie says that back on this whole stuffed animal, sleeping with stuffed animal, she says that she has a flamingo collection, but she now sleeps with a large pillow that looks like an M&M's cookie and smells like a cookie.
Oh my gosh, really? That sounds amazing. Do we know? No, wait. I knew they were scented pillows because Costco used to have the Jelly Belly ones.
Ooh, wait.
Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Yeah, they'd have pillows that smelled like Jelly Bellies, like jelly beans. But I never got one.
My thing is, I just imagine that make me hungry all night.
No, but maybe it makes you feel like you
feel full.
Yeah, you feel full instead.
I've never smelled cookies and thought, I feel full.
I said maybe. And it's during nighttime.
I know, but
not during the daytime.
It's like I've never walked into a kitchen where there was the smell of cookies. I
don't need any. I'm full.
Man, with that smell, I couldn't have any.
Better than nothing.
Just shut it right down.
Oh, that would be tempting. You'd wake up wanting, like cookies or M&Ms every night.
Yeah. Lucy, she texted. She says that her sister has a giant-sized hippo. She says it's the size of a small child that she sleeps with in her bed.
That she has one side and then the hippo's on the other side.
Yeah. She says it's actually super cute, but I'm pretty sure her attachment to stuffies is part of why she's still single.
Aww.
Is that what we call them?
Yeah, stuffed animals, stuffies.
Is that, have you called them stuffies?
No, not really.
Okay.
But I've heard the term many times.
Okay. Well, I got another one here. Where did this one go? No, we already talked to Katie. This person whose name I do not have says, my wife has what she calls Blanky and Silky. And those are her stuffed animals that they're married and she's bringing 2 stuffed animals to bed.
Oh, to the family? That's all right.
Did she tell you up front, hey, you're going to have to share the bed, not just with me, but the 3 of us?
You have to let everybody know if you have a collection.
Well, it's just one of those things.
Now, Sarah just texted, said, hey, it's Sarah, driving to work, listening to RadioU, and just saw lightning we were talking about. So where's my Crocs?
Well, that's why you should always wear them.
You're safe. You have to keep them in the car with you,
should
for emergencies.
Always wear your Crocs. Well, hey, we'd love to hear from you. Text us 8772-RADIO-U.
Even if it's just say hello, include your name if you've never texted before.
Julia says she sleeps with a bunch of anime plushies. Julia, I'm going to allow that, but if I get any text messages from people that are sleeping with those body pillows...
Oh, the anime ones? Yeah.
I'm going to have to draw a line. I'm going to have to.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
I want to say hi to Matt. Matt hit us up on Twitter with something that I don't feel real good about. Okay. He sent us, is this for pets?
No, I think it's for, well, actually, that's a really good question.
I think it might be for pets.
I thought it was like the water drop or the drops that you can get a flavoring to go into waters. Like is it Mio's or something?
But these are called Nulos. The Mio's ones are like the black raspberry and like whatever. But okay, if you look at what's around it, it's just occurring to me in the photo. There's like dog treats.
Oh, these are for dogs.
Stuff.
It's dog hydrating drops.
So you put this in their water, a beef brisket, rotisserie chicken, or pork tenderloin drop.
It makes so much more sense that they're not for adults.
So much more sense.
They're not for humans.
So much more sense.
Because they even have a little dog icon on it. So, yeah, they're dog hydration drops for in the doggy's water.
Okay, finally. Okay, I feel better about this.
You should let Matt know that we figured this out. This is not for humans.
So,
even though, can you? Because, like, at first I thought it must be like bone broth, which is super popular and very expensive a lot of times.
Yeah.
What if this is a cheaper alternative?
Would you
have the doggy drops?
Would you try beef brisket enhanced water? It's got electrolytes, amino acids, and 8 vitamins.
Yeah, it looks exactly like a human's would.
Nikki, what if it gives your coat a sheen?
I use horse shampoo. So,
hang on for just a second. What?
It's a very popular brand, and it's also used in the equestrian world.
Oh, is this like a detangler?
Yeah, no, it's shampoo and conditioner also.
So you and the horse, huh?
Well, I mean, it's nothing weird. Humans use it for a long time.
Well, then I guess there wouldn't be anything weird about you and me having a pork tenderloin water.
Makes sense, doesn't it? I break that out. You're like, oh, what water drops do you have?
Okay.
You're supposed to drink a lot of water, and whatever you can do to get you to get the proper amount and to hydrate.
Here, Nikki, you want some sugar cubes?
No, I want some carrots,
you want a salt lick? I'll just put it over there so you can, anytime you want.
Just try to trap me, see if it really does. If I'm like, why did I lick the sugar cubes?
It's fine.
No, the shampoo that I use has been around for a long time, and a lot of humans use it. So
okay,
it's not weird at all.
I never thought I would.
Tail.
I never thought I would hear lots of humans use this shampoo.
It's good. It gets your hair shiny and soft, and it's just what you use.
Okay, I just want to connect this with what do you do when you're going to throw up? You stand at the sink and stomp one foot.
Why are you bringing that into this?
Because
I haven't thrown up in forever. I don't like throwing up in the toilet. It makes me want to throw up while I'm already throwing up.
I know, but you stomp your foot, which to me feels very horse-like.
They don't think I'll ever stop.
I think that you're stomping your foot because that mane and tail is getting into your brain.
Is that it?
Is there anything else you're doing? Do you find yourself kicking at the dirt from time to time?
No, I don't think so.
Whinnying?
I want to always run free. No.
I'm just out in my backyard running around. I don't know. Hang out at the fence.
Just can't help myself.
It's not weird.
So if you have pets, you can also now apparently get the drops that go in your pet's water to flavor it.
There you go.
With all the vitamins and stuff. And it actually looks pretty well priced. It's just a few dollars.
$3.59.
That's worth it for your dog's health.
It is?
I guess it is. I caught my dog drinking out of the toilet yesterday, so anything's good.
Let's
I was like, I don't have a water thing near there. I do. It's the toilet. Shut the lid.
Some beef brisket flavoring in the toilet and see what happens.
Yuck. I'm trying to stop what we're doing there. We're not supposed to.
Okay, and I just want to throw out here, your dog drinks from the toilet and then gets up in bed with you.
Yeah,
and
but
you
I wipe
won't
their mouth
use the
off.
water fountain.
I do. It tastes weird here. It tastes weird. And when you flush, it stops. So I just don't want to.
I just don't want you to think about it too hard because I feel like we're right on the verge of tearing your whole world apart.
I know, and I don't want to talk about it anymore.
The Riot Podcast. Radio U.
University of Alabama has updated their COVID-19 numbers, and we actually talked about them last week because between the students, faculty, and staff, they had about 500 people that have been infected with COVID-19. A couple of days later, here we are, and they're now at 1,200.
So it's gone up.
That is 1,200. Now, the thing is, I believe that to be, that's 1,200 students. So unless I am mistaking what I'm reading or they're reporting it incorrectly, it's not including faculty and staff.
Which the previous numbers were potentially including faculty and staff.
So these are just student numbers. Now, that's 1,200 students out of 30,000, which means that you're at roughly, let's say, 3% of the student population has been infected with COVID-19.
And so how long have they been back to classes? That's what I was curious about, too.
It is somewhere around 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
That's enough partying time. We're not supposed to be doing that.
That would be enough incubation.
Yeah, to get that to start.
So I have, a lot of people in the U.S. have kept their eyes on them because they are reporting larger numbers than others. I haven't checked in, thank you, David, on the Ohio State University just yet.
He was just saying how
he says I don't seem to like Alabama very much, which
He's teasing.
I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, there's things you like less, so it's fine.
Well, it's not like we can yell at each other about football this year. So now we have to yell at each other about COVID numbers.
Just how it is.
It's not a score, but it's something.
I know. It's like you better not be getting after the weekend like it's score numbers.
Shut up. I don't even just no. But I will tell you, looking at, this is just a statement from the president of the Ohio State University saying that the numbers are trending upward.
Alabama?
No, this is at Ohio State.
Okay, gotcha.
Since we're competing now. But they, of course, haven't quite scored that high.
Sure.
But they say that the trend is headed upwards and that they don't want it to continue. So, I don't know. RadioU still at 0%.
Yeah.
The Riot, not everyone's fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
Which one do you want? Do you want this article on emails that you and I are looking at, or do you want to talk about the new Sherlock Holmes movie that's coming to
Netflix? Oh, I want to talk about that because I love the trailer.
Okay. I thought it looked really good.
Yeah.
Right? So right now, Sherlock Holmes is in the public domain. And so that means that the family that owns the rights no longer owns the rights.
So you could go just get the book for free online.
Yes.
You don't have to pay.
It's one of those things where you'll see that you might have to pay for them, say, on Amazon. But that's because someone will have the right to that particular EPUB file that they've created.
That version.
What I mean? But the content, like the character, like Nikki, let's say you wanted to make a Sherlock Holmes movie, go for it.
You could.
You can do whatever you want. Like, they've got no legal ground to stand on.
See, I forgot about that, but when I watched it's Enola Holmes.
Yes.
I was wondering when I saw the trailer, I thought, I wonder, this is modern for the Sherlock Holmes world of the stuff that they usually put out. I thought, I wonder if they were a part of it.
No, they're not. And they have, it's interesting. They have begun suing. Like every time somebody comes out with a Sherlock Holmes thing, they sue. And this is amazing when you get down into it. They sue because in these movies, the last few that have come out, Sherlock Holmes shows emotion. And they argue that the character of Holmes did not begin showing emotion until about 1923. And so those stories have not passed into the public domain yet.
Oh.
And they say emotional Holmes, like let's say, for example, the concern that Sherlock shows towards his sister Enola
being missing.
And so as a result, they owe us money because of emotional Holmes.
I guess. But when I watched the trailer, he seems aloof. So it didn't seem like he was too emotional.
Well, maybe any emotion at all from Sherlock is a lot.
I think they just sue every time.
Yes, they do. So they sued for Miramax's 2015 Mr. Holmes and 2018's Holmes and Watson.
Ooh, that one was bad, wasn't it? People said that was terrible.
I couldn't finish it.
Was that the Will Ferrell one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched like 20 minutes of it, and it just wasn't funny, like, at all.
Remember, no emotions.
No emotion.
That's why they shouldn't have been sued then, because the movie tracked along with it.
Well, and to be clear, they did not. Like the 2015 one settled out of court, and Holmes and Watson, they just didn't win.
Oh, really? Because if not, I guess I thought, well, they must sue every time, and that's just how they get their money.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, because, I mean, keep in mind that we're coming up on the end of the end of the end. So, like, they've...
Of the world? No, you just mean of
the comet. But, as of 2014, the character became public domain, and they're trying to argue whatever they can from the stories because they have...
Around that.
I think they have like 4 or 5 years left, and then after that, they're just completely out of luck.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought the Enola Holmes looked really fun, so...
Oh, I hope it's good.
I like the take on it.
When does that... Did you see when it comes out?
It's the end of September.
Okay.
20-something, I think, so it'll be out then.
Okay, cool.
And it's a movie. At first, I was wondering, is it a show? But it's a movie.
No, it's a movie. Henry Cavill and...
That's all you need to concern yourself with.
11.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown. Billy Brown, yes. Mm-hmm.
Millie Bobby...
Millie something Brown.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so that'll be out at the end of next month.
I'm in. I'll watch that.
It looks good.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
Hey guys, I gotta go to the bathroom. Open the garage
Instead
door.
of like